Hey there, YouTube. So tonight I wanted to just actually touch base a little bit more about the last couple videos. So even though the last week I felt like I haven't actually been getting after it as much as I used to, I still have been keeping with a variety of my habits. I still have kept going with my Spanish. I've still kept going with stretching. I still kept going with a variety of the little like physical things that I do. I just wasn't necessarily going after with the same enthusiasm and hustle that I was everything else. Like, for instance, interviews. Those have kind of slacked off a little bit, but I'm going to get back into that. It's actually also a lot easier, I gotta admit, to do with another person than it is to do by yourself. It's a little harder to hold the camera and have somebody like in the background trying to do like an interview. And plus, if I walk around with somebody else, it just makes the whole interaction a lot less like I'm trying to pick somebody up, or I'm trying to sell somebody, or I'm trying to convince somebody of Jesus or something. I wanted to comment that I haven't stopped everything, but it was some things had definitely slacked off. So I wanted to clarify about that. I wanted to also clarify that when you're taking your time to take a break, or to make sure you're focused and motivated, or whatever you're taking your time to do, one of the things that's come up a bunch of different times in the variety of things that I research and listen to is that you have to have something that's pulling you along, pulling you into whatever your future is. If you're trying to do it just out of sheer force of will, at some point that gives out. Like, for instance, I think that I didn't have the same kind of pull. Like, I didn't feel like, oh, you know what, I've really got to do this for my family, or I've really got to do this to do something else. So, I mean, I do actually have a lot of pull, I feel like, in making sure that I help as many people as I can, and that I get to the next level, and that I take care of the people that are close to me. But I think that if you can have a gigantic reason to make sure you're doing the right thing every day, making sure you're getting better and better every day in every way, I think that the bigger the reason you have to do that, the easier it is to get out of bed, the easier it is to get into the gym, the easier it is to avoid extra calories, the easier it is to do anything in life. So I think that what I wanted to focus on, I guess, is that when you're figuring out what motivates you, make sure that your reason is something that is absolutely monstrous, and link it to both pain and pleasure. Like, link it to, if I do this, I'm going to be rewarded, and if I don't do this, I'm going to be punished. And whatever that is in your mind, for instance, with food, if you have a habit of eating chips at night, you could link eating chips to a negative thing, the pain, and be like, oh well, if I eat chips, I'm going to get fat. I'm going to have a lot of negative physical consequences. But then also link the fact that if you don't eat chips at night, then maybe in the morning you get to have a sausage or something that's a treat for you for not doing the negative behavior. So that way you have a negative and a positive, and both of them are helping you to get towards your goal. And I mean, that was kind of a silly food example, but you can use that in any number of different ways, in any number of different examples in your life. So there you go. Something I was thinking about tonight. Every day is a good day for discipline. Have a great night.